Remember that racist Forak guy?
What an asshole!
And
I'm
someone, like,
so
called-
glad he's not on the show anymore. Am
He's
I
not
right?
even racist.
No one
He
called
just-
him out on the fact that he's racist about elves, but I'm like, oh, rock gnomes, they're all the same. And we're like, oh, that's not okay.
No, Forak was racist like a very well accepting grandma. like she sees things in races, but she accepts them for what they are. She's like, no, that's what makes them charming. You know what I mean?
I accepted that. I was like, yeah, no, I like
So-
gnomes, they're funny.
Vale, you were trying to look at what was inside this temple, and it looks like the entire village, as Gil basically said, is all around. Celebrating, but more just sort of, you'll be able to see the emotion a bit further, this young woman. Arvine, why don't you describe this woman?
Woohoo! Okay, well, you can tell at a glance that she looks very strange. I mean, for starters, she is clearly a human woman, but she is over 6 feet tall, which is very tall for a human woman.
I think she's still shorter than Gil and Vale, but, like, that's weird,
she would be,
right?
Yeah, but it is weird, because, like, she's only got, what, I think Gil's 6'4", something like that?
6'2".
6'2". So she's not much short. She's barely shorter than Gil. She could stand almost like eye to eye with him, which is very odd for a human woman. But more than that, what catches she's wearing very odd clothing. Basically, it's like a battered mix of leathers, and there's a robe. It's all dark greens and browns, and the robe is tattered at the edges. It all looks very wild and well used. Let's put it that way. But the thing that catches your eye most is just her skin and her hair. Her skin is tanned and weathered, and it's very, very tanned. But what catches your eye most about that is that she actually has like whitish freckles, which is very odd. And her hair, which is in parts falling down to her waist, and in others it's like cut off randomly and very jagged. It's a bit of a mess, to be quite frank. It's dark green with brown patches in it, odd brown patches. It's mostly dark green. And then the last thing that is possibly the weirdest of the lot, she has unnaturally light green eyes. And if you catch it out the corner of your eye, you could swear that her eyes are glowing. But then when you look at her directly, no, they're just light green.
What would definitely happen is while you're actually looking at this Vale, I'm gonna go ahead and say the town is fussing over Melody, this woman, and she's maybe doesn't look all that amused.
Yeah, she's quite uncomfortable.
But then like you're looking at it and you realize what they're looking at, and your eyes catch on Melody, and then her eyes, you just see that glint of like almost like when you see a cat like just catch like the glow, like there's a bit of a glow, and just she stares at you. She just like notices you immediately, Vale, that like on the edge of all the crowd of people looking completely out of place.
After a moment, after she catches eyes with you, after a moment, she seems to sort of look around you, like her eyes slide around your head rather than looking directly at you, before returning to look at your face, and it's a bit of a weird sensation.
Did you say anything, Vale?
Presumably I'm a bit far out, with the crowds to really...
You're a bit far out and a bit of a crowd between you.
But she stands out, basically.
She stands out and you stand out.
Vale would turn and motion to Gil, but he wouldn't interact with the...
Basically, by the time you're done doing that, like, someone in the town's like, Who are you? You're new? What do you need? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm usually tending the bar at this point. If you need a warm meal after you're travelers. What are you traveling up here for? You traders. Sorry. He like keeps trying to like look back the whole thing.
We actually had a couple of questions about a couple of rumors we have heard. Me and my friend, perhaps...
Not now. Let me set up the tavern again. I'll get you all... You look weary. You know you're a young lad. You're gonna say you're strong, but you need a good, like, stew in you. So I'm gonna set you and your friend and your child up, and we're gonna, I'll get you... I've got no rooms for the night, but I'll get you a nice room. I'll get you a nice, stew going. And he, like, sort of, like... whistles to like an old, like sort of grey furred dog that kind of goes with him, and he says goodbye to a couple of other people, and you know, as is in a small community, like a couple of people like have like the little lingering conversations as he's trying to like get back to his tavern. And he goes to a building that you probably wouldn't have noticed as the tavern opposed to any of the things aside from like big glass windows. And he goes in and he kind of motions for you to go in, and he starts like reheating up a stew and stuff to get warm and things like that. Do you follow him in, you lot?
I'm kind of on autopilot following behind them because I'm like really looking around and taking notes and just kind of like, so it's one of those things where if one of them stops short, I'll...
I Tails gonna turn to Gil and be like, should we find out what's happening here first?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, have you seen the woman in the center? There's something, He does actually sniff. He goes, something strange about her.
Which one? Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
It's like you can very clearly see that she's just different.
Yeah.
Huh?
Again, when Gil sort of looks in, she catch eyes momentarily with him, and then again she would sort of do that weird thing where her gaze seems to slide around the outside of
At
your.
this point, Melody, would you like get up and start heading over?
Yeah. Having seen the second one, she would like get up. It's quite slow, and I imagine people are like moving out of her way, and she just sort of.
Yeah, it's sort of almost because the other guy, the tavern keeper, left, and it, like people were starting to be like, okay, it's the end of the night. We can, and you can hear over bits of conversation, and you know, oh, we can talk to Melody in the morning. We can ask what happened later. This is nothing to worry about right now, and all that kind of thing. That's sort of the gist of little bits of conversations, and almost like. Because of that, like people just start filtering back into buildings very slowly. Like, you could check back in 2 hours, and you could like half the people will have gotten back in their rooms. But you know,
as soon as she starts moving, I'm gonna like poke Sid with my foot and hiss to both Gil and Sid. This strange looking one is heading over. It's I can't tell what she wants. Be ready, just in case there's trouble.
Of course she's going over. She saw me.
Actually, as she comes up, as she probably sees Sid for the first time, she probably couldn't see him over the people.
No, definitely
You notice her gaze lingers on, or more accurately, around Sid for a couple seconds longer than anyone else, and then when she comes up, like stands right in front of you and just stops. And then, without speaking, she looks down into the side a bit and sort of looks down, frowning like this, and then looks back up, and then nods and looks back up, and just looks at you all and says, "You strangers, not from here."
Vale's hand slides down, just to gently wrap around the hilt of his short sword. No, we are new in town.
Interesting. Not seen that kind before. And she said, looking at Sid as she says that. What is it?
I was actually going to ask you the same question.
I put my
What
hand
are
over
you?
his mouth.
Good idea, Gilwin.
But did he actually get that out before?
Yeah, he would have got that out before the class, because yeah.
And it's cool.
She points to herself and says, "This one is Melody."
Whoa.
Right. Yeah, just like wipes your hand. Well, I hate to say it, Melody, but you probably have not seen one of my kind either.
Here we go.
As much as you might believe it.
Gilwin
I
has
am
got
a
used to this
solar
speech.
elf.
She just stares at him like, sort of. You can sort of tell she recognizes elves, and she's not really distinguished enough. Solar elf?
Yeah. Yes.
Elves come to village, but not solar elves.
Not solar elves. No. No, we are much different, much rarer.
And I am a nocturne human.
Vale, like, slaps him on the shoulder.
No, just an
She just
ordinary.
looks at him, frowns, and goes, human? Yes.
Yeah, pretty
Human.
boring.
So, you didn't answer the question.
What question?
What are you?
Melody is melody.
I agree. I like a good melody, you know, when someone can play a song that gets you moving, but I'm referring to you. I mean, you point out the fact that I'm a gnome, he's an elf, he's a human. What are you? You look a little weird.
Solar.
She frowns and actually thinks for a moment, and you notice her look down again to the right, and again after a couple of seconds nod. Melody is human. She seems actually a bit unsure about this when she
There's
says
definitely
it.
like a questioning, like,
Yeah.
am I?
He tugs at Gil's cloak for a second to get his attention. He's like, "Is this another ampersand moment?"
What? She can't be human because I am? Is that what you're getting at?
I mean, her name is Melody.
It's fine. It's fine.
As you say that, she's actually a bit distracted. She's not listening to that conversation. She looks at, she's not really looking at you, and she actually notices the pistol at Vale's waist, and actually like reaches for it. Not quickly. She just like reaches out, as if curious about it.
Vale's gonna step. No touching.
It's about that time, like the tavern keeper sort of like
sit.
leans by, like it's not a very small, large tavern. He sort of leans over his thing and is like, "Melody, come on, get in it. You know, you probably haven't eaten anything for ages, have you? Oh, come on in, come on in, the travellers too. I mean, you know."
Vale's eyes are gonna glint when he's here, and he's gonna turn to Melody, as presumably they do start moving, because Melody seems a bit.
Well, she would actually basically wait.
Yeah, you'd
until
have
you
to start
moving.
going.
So he's gonna turn to Melody as we start moving, and he's, yes. How long has it been since you last ate?
Melody is eating. She seems to pause for a minute, like she can't really make sense of the question. Melody is hungry, but starving, no.
Well, you know, I'll have lots of food for you, Melody. I mean, how long? It's been a long time since you've had one of my stews. He's like starting to pour like 4 of you. That's a good number. Always nearly forgot to give one for Rufus. And like gets another thing of stew and like puts it down for his dog. He's like, but like
It's funny. The cat would immediately go over to that bowl and start trying to eat out of the bowl too.
The dog would like, this is like an old dog. It kind of is like, what the fuck? But doesn't like actually stop it. It's like, it's not got the fight in it right now. But like, if you troubled the tavern keeper, he'd probably
Also,
be like,
Melody
but,
would stare at the cat for quite a while, and again, her gaze would sort of move around it and
got a
over
bit of
it.
twitchy eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all basically handed a wooden bowl of this stew. It's watery. You don't exactly know what meat it was
warm,
in there. Maybe
it's hot,
lamb,
it'll be.
maybe goat. Who knows?
Is there
It's
stabling
warm.
outside?
No stabling. You just have to tie the horse somewhere. There's little posts.
Oh, well, I'll tie Galleon. And I'll
Yeah, I'll do the
give him
same.
a pat on the nose, and I'll say, "I'll bring something out for you, boy."
I am Passand, which is your name.
Like leans in towards Sid. After saying that, like, Sid, join us. You owe me a drink, no?
Oh yeah, drinking, perhaps a nice tune.
Oh, you enjoy music.
Of
Gil
course.
happens to have a couple of good songs, eh? He gives you a wink.
Yeah.
Oh, you play songs.
He's a bard.
Oh, are you? I thought that was the loot on your back. I honestly thought that maybe you were selling it.
No. He's not selling it. No.
What's wrong with my loot?
Nothing. I just
Why would-
assumed it wasn't well played if it was in that good of shape.
You play music, and she has a ratty old backpack along with a spear, a really weird spear that looks to be made out of a branch and with a stone.
Is it like a
point?
It looks like it's come right out of an arc, you know. It's like
Yeah, basically, and a shield. And she reaches into the pack and pulls out a lyre that's really, it's quite old, and it's clearly been restrung by an amateur a couple of times, but it looks pretty well loved.
That is the instrument of a bard.
A lute is an instrument of a bard as well.
Oh, certainly. I mean, it doesn't look well. Do you play it often?
I haven't really picked it up over the last couple of months. Why is this about me now?
Vale's gonna like clap her hand down on your shoulder and say, "Don't take that. Show them wrong."
She would
One
actually
of your songs.
lean into Gil and be like, "You play music? Play with melody?"
Yes, I play melody. Oh, I see what you mean. Maybe
Go on.
later.
Oh, now. come
Right
on,
now
And
you
she
need
looks
to-
down in
Let's have a
disappointment.
song
Looks down
before
in
we-
disappointment.
Oh, well, don't do that. All right.
it's like you just like it's like child's like play and you're like no and they're like
Yeah, exactly.
that's exactly what just happened.
Well, Daddy plays. All right.
Okay, we'll go on the merry-go-round one more time, little Jeffrey.
Do you know the song "Whistling Winds"?
She sort of just looks at you and like frowns and sort of looks at your lute. It's just like play.
Okay.
It's like you can kind of look at them for a second, Gil, when like after that realization, she probably doesn't know any real songs. Just how to like
Yeah.
play.
Yeah. And after
I know
after
that song.
after he's played like
I
a
can actually
couple
do
of
that one.
bars, she will try and join it.
All right, both of you give me performance rolls. Come on. What else is it there for?
Oh, for fuck's sake!
Wow.
For fuck's sake. Well, come on. To be fair, you weren't playing a very good song right now.
Plus, it's been a couple months. I'm rusty.
You start playing, and for one reason or another, one of the strings in your lute breaks, and you're like, and then you go play again, and another one breaks, it's like more than just coincidence, and you like probably get annoyed, you put it down, and then the last one breaks, or like the other ones break, just all like at once.
This is not very good music. Listen, if you want to hear good music, I heard a brilliant song recently that got imprinted into my music box. Hold on.
And I
Can
was
I-
to say she
can I,
carries on
goes
playing
over.
like not very well, not particularly well, but she just carries on playing like random
Like it
tunes.
just like a little bit, yeah.
Can I go ahead and make a deception roll? And
Yeah.
I'm gonna be like, "No, that was good, Gil. Just a little rusty. Clearly the instrument isn't quite up to scratch. Once we have it fixed, it'll be fine."
So while Vale says that, Salny opens up his music box, and the tune that plays, you might have heard a music box before.
It literally goes. So the music box, when it opens up, the music instantly just starts going like.
Gil
Gilded paw.
It's like,
Yeah,
right?
you-
You know
it
this
is
song.
your
This
song.
a good song. This is a brilliant song.
Play it again.
Oh, hold on. And
on.
he goes over and closes it and opens it back up. It's like
Starts again.
When he does that, Melody actually goes across and is like going to poke it. I assume he'd stop her, but she's like going to poke
No,
it.
he,
like-
he wouldn't stop her. And I imagine you
Nope.
stop it, and the music box is like on little legs, isn't it? Or is this a different thing? So you
No.
probably like you poke it, and it's like like you probably like push it a bit too hard, and it almost falls over, and then gets back up.
Vale. Listen.
Yes, it is Gilwyn Gallowgate, Bane of the Bearded
Bearded
Bastards.
bastards.
right.
Yeah.
It's a great song. I love this song.
Well, you may have noticed you are traveling with my friend here, Gil.
Yeah.
Vale turns to Sid and wiggles both his eyebrows. And solo elves, not
Big
as dainty
eyebrows.
features as other elves. So you know he's got fairly blocky eyebrow, and he wiggles both his eyebrows, just waggles them like.
Yeah. Gil, you like the
Gil?
song too.
Gilwyn is his name.
What?
This is Gilwyn Galogir.
Oh, this is your song?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, I was traveling through the Dwarven lands not that long ago, and the music box had it imprinted into it. The first time I heard it, I'll be honest with you, I wasn't really paying attention, but the music box, for some reason, songs that mean something to it, they just kind of imprint onto it, and it's been playing it over and over again for months now. I've grown to love it.
You've grown to love it. Does that mean you hated it at first? No. Sometimes when you listen to singles, they have to grow. Yeah, that's okay. A couple of plays, it grows on you. No, that's fine. I appreciate that.
I just wish I knew the lyrics because, like, it's just the tune and the melody is wonderful. I just imagine that the tune is one of a long lost love or like a valiant, like a seaworthy battle, or I don't know. I'm no good at music things.
Valiant? Vale like turns to Gil and nods.
Yeah, that's me. I'm
Well-
the bane of the bearded bastards. I'm Gilwyn. Bloody hell, Vale. This is
Sure.
the happiest you've seen me since.
Yes. You're basically a proper bud. Vale's gonna stand up and slap Sid and Gil on the back. I'll get the drinks. And he walks up to the bar.
I'll go looking for another loot or something.
It's one of those
Immediately.
things where, yeah, in the tavern they probably have like a rusty old, like grotty old thing that you can take a tune or two.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I'm just gonna do one of those.
Yep. While he's away.
Yeah.
This is a bit dinged
While the
up,
bard's
but
away, the artificer will play. You know how it is. You know what I'm saying?
I'll bring back the shitty loot to the gang and I'll be like, this is a bit dinged up, but I think we can get
Nope,
something
I
out of this.
fixed it.
Oh, but I don't like. Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It comes at a cost, my friend.
Oh, don't ruin this.
You have to play that song.
Oh, yeah.
Play
And
again.
at this point, Bale comes back with three
Frothy
mugs
mugs.
of wine. No,
Ooh.
no wine, not ale.
Ooh.
Three mugs of wine, pops them down. Here
Now-
we go. To a bard.
Who are those 3 mugs going to?
Sid, Gil. Sorry,
Melody
Melody.
looks a bit left
do I get
out.
big-
Sorry, Melody. I do
Yeah,
not
no, you
know.
would. They would not have mugs for gnomes differently here. You would
Yeah, I
just
need
have
a
a
big
big
mug.
mug. He's getting a prop. Ugh. I should never have had that prop for that one adventure camp episode because now he's always using props.
So Vale does clock the Melody looking at me. Sorry, Melody, but I do not know how you deal with drink.
Melody drinks. Melody drinks often.
It is alcoholic.
Alcoholic.
Try a little bit of mine, and it proper the.
He hands it across. She takes like a massive mouthful.
He's
and
ready
just-
to catch this if the mug gets.
And she sort of goes, and just sort of frowns. Strange, but good.
Vale sighs and pulls himself up, and he goes.
Get
and
to
gets
another
mug
mug.
of wine.
That will be like 2 copper each. Don't worry about it.
Okay, cool. I'll slide that.
Yeah,
Okay.
go when you go playing.
So, Melody, what we'll do is I'll play a couple of rounds, and after a couple of rounds you can join in, okay? But for now, I just want to show my good friend here,
Yes,
Sal,
you play.
Sid.
Yes.
my good friend Sid. I knew what a
We
guy.
knew you were a Sid, not a Sal.
Gilwyn Galagir, the bane of the beard bastards. Here we go.
So, what I actually do for this one, Gil, is because she's helping, you'll actually have advantage. So don't fuck it up.
Please, God, do not let me first.
You play this, and this song. I mean, if you want to give any kind of flourish to it, Gil, feel free. But I kind of imagine you're not showing off as much as maybe you a little. I don't know. You can decide. Up to you.
I would just sing it with the most joy I've ever sang it with, because now people know it.
Sally is like you barely remember when you first heard this, but the song is like, yeah, it's exciting. It's like funny. It's heroic. It's a little heart-wrenching. You know, you're probably like his biggest fan right now, like sitting in like a chair that you barely fit in, like, hey. Melody, this just, it kind of touches you a little bit. It's probably the most beautiful music you've heard in years. And Vale, you know, it's nice to see Gil when so
Vale's
happy.
got a big grin on.
Yeah.
Gil's happy. He's
Melody starts humming along.
He's tapping along with his foot in time with.
And Melody, like, you're
He's sort of
fairly
humming
sure,
it
like,
to
you
himself.
basically learn this song through playing it a couple of times over the night. Yeah.
No. It's B sharp to G, and then there you go. That's yeah. Gil.
She wouldn't know what that is, Gil.
I imagine, like, as I'm still working, you guys are on like your third or fourth glass. He's still on like his first one. And he's already getting tipsy because he weighs less than 50 pounds and isn't kind of an old man. He says like, "Going Gallagher,"
Like, just out of tune, horrendous.
He's way out of tune, just like me. You know what I mean? He's just like, he's like loving it and like getting it on, and yeah. A little bit of like wine spills on one of his machines, and it's like.
Aw, poor ampersand.
Oh, Vale's got a bit of color in his cheeks. You know, he's had a couple of mugs of wine, and at this point he's gonna go up to the tavern and he's going to say, "My horse and my friend's horse are outside. Do you have fresh hay? Some water?"
I can get some hay and some water for him, yeah. That's no problem. Will you want, I don't have to remind you, I told you earlier, but I don't think you were paying much attention. We got no rooms. There's no rooms. This is just a
That
drinking
is
hole.
fine. Me and Gil can camp under the stars as long
That's
as you
fine.
see that the horses are fed and watered.
I can look after your horses for you, gents, that's fine. And he, like, actually, like, goes and starts doing it. As he's, like, trusting in a very small town, he actually just leaves you alone in the tavern while he goes and does that for, like, half an hour or whatever. But yeah, the night starts to wind down. You play a lot of music. You sing a lot of songs. I imagine you probably sing a couple of other, like maybe Gilwin, like, I've been trying to write this one, but like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Melody tries to help, and it's clear that she has like some degree of natural talent, but it's completely raw.
Yeah.
Like she can sort of sing and keep a tune, but she has no idea about how to write music or
It's all
anything.
self-
And
But she tries to help anyway.
And during the night, Gil would be like, "Okay, what can I play next?" And at one point, the Flame-Kissed Maiden, which was about Cat, comes to his mind, and he intentionally goes, "Nope, don't play that one." And he puts it to the back of his mind and carries on playing.
So, the tavern keeper comes back, and he's like, "Oh, I fed your horses, blah, 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 blah." And then it comes to the it's almost like the sun is starting to come up. You're like, "Oh, shit." You almost didn't notice.
Vale would have popped out previously, been out there, make sure the horses were fed and watered, and he'd also gone round, say, back at the tavern, found a grassy patch, and set up Gil and Vale's tent.
Absolutely easy enough to do.
As Dad Vale would. So he'd go and set up the tent and get it ready before, like, he'd just leave silently and then come back in, take up his mug of wine, and wait for when they're ready, and then they could go out.
So yeah, again, like, you kind of notice the sun starting to rise. There's like, "Oh, we should probably go to bed, right? Probably should go to bed." That kind of thing.
Sid, do you have anywhere to sleep?
Oh, that's right. They said something about rooms and you can't share. I'm
Vale's-
sure
Vale's
there's
a-
somebody
Vale's-
here
Vale's a
that
bit
can
more drunk.
spare a bit of bed. Come on. Come
Vale's a
on,
bit
There's
lads.
no one else in the room with you.
He
It's
slaps,
just
he
you.
slaps you on the back, like, harder than he did earlier, heartily, and he says, "Camp with us, friend. It is fine. It is no problem."
camping requires tents. I'm sure I've got something I could use to string up a tent here. Hold on. We can make this work. I will make this work. I will. And
Drunk
head out with you,
engineering.
and he like takes his like cloak and like his trousers and probably his under trousers, and he like uses like bits of bobs and stuff to like kind of pin them together and like throw them over like and he makes like a makeshift tent of clothing, and so he's effectively naked
He's in
underneath
tent,
the
so it's
tent.
fine.
And he's like, "It's a good thing it's the summer," the DM said.
It's still going to be a little nippy, but you know, the tent will help.
A little
Yeah.
nippy.
Wow.
But the question is, what does Melody while they're like setting up?
Yeah, I kind of imagine Melody
When-
would follow us out.
Yeah, Melody would
definitely.
follow you out, and like when you first go into the tent, she would probably try and follow you, and you'd be like, "No, back," and she does back out, and then she would just go and lie down next to the tent, and you notice that in addition to the backpack, she's got a rather large wolf pelt hanging like tied by its paws around her neck, and she basically like pulls this over so it acts as a hood, and then just like snuggles down into this wolf pelt and goes to sleep on the ground next to the tent.
Vale. I think you're in there.
A typical sleepover talk.
I'm not sure, Gil. She's not what I imagined. You know, my wife would be eloquent and elegant,
And probably an elf.
and probably an elf. I didn't realize you could hear this, gnome. Go to bed.
I am in bed. You're talking too loud.
You
Vale
still
actually
talking?
does laugh at that.
You still talking? You hear the voice from outside. You still talking?
Like, thump, huh?
Yes, we are just going to bed now, Melody. We will see you in the morning.
Night melody.
Good.
Oh, a night melody. That would sound. Hey, Gil, can you sing us a night melody?
Go to sleep.
And
That.
Yeah, she you wouldn't be able to see, but she's actually slightly confused by the concept of see you tomorrow, but
Yeah.
she goes and lies down anyway.
yeah, especially because it's like morning. So
Yeah.
you get waken up. You get like at least 4 hours of sleep or something, and you get waken up by people going like, Melody, what are you doing behind the? Did you spend the night at the tavern? You know, that's not surprising. Kids your age, and like someone else is like, oh no, I can't help but imagine her as a wee babe. Nah, but she's not, is she? No, look at the
There's
bones
head
on her.
pops out.
Like there's just like
So obviously
two
he's
old women
awake,
like
he's in a
talking.
trance.
And she's looking between them like,
What do you mean at her age and like she's a babe?
Oh hello. Oh, who are you? And like literally, this old woman, like, well, no, this is like a middle-aged woman, just kind of goes up and does the whole kind of like cheek thing, like, oh hello.
So they-
Oh, what
there's, like,
beautiful
half
skin
a-
you have. Do you moisturize?
No, it is different.
It's natural.
Vale
Oh.
pulls out the tent. He stops, and he bows.
And like, there's like a silent like look between the two.
It's Erivale Belenair at your service.
Oh,
Now,
and like
what
I've
was
got a
it
few
you were saying
services
about-
now. Calm down, Beth. Wait,
Well,
Melody, Melody,
well-
is she awake?
Vale can flirt with the old ladies.
Yeah.
What is it you were saying about Melody?
Oh, didn't you
Melody?
hear? I thought you spent all night. I thought you would. She came out of the forest. She went in when she was a wee lass. You know, I want to say she was 12 winters old. She went in like playing one day, and she never came out until now. We're all super surprised.
Now, of
It's
course,
happened
they-
before, but usually, like, if people wander off in that forest, they don't be coming back. I mean, it's happened a couple of days ago to that one. What's the name of that gentleman? Oh, I wouldn't be calling him a gentleman, Beth. No, but he's nice. Yeah, but have you seen what he look? Not, but you know, don't judge a book by its cover. I don't judge any books, Beth. I can't read. And they like start laughing. Like,
It's one of those like walking out of the tent. What's all this bickering out here? Ah! What is going on?
he's like just in his underwear.
No, he's in nothing. He's just naked. He's just all hanging out. Old man gnome bod. Oh man.
Oh boy.
They were already laughing. They cry with laughter. They're like leaning on the side of the tavern. Like, it just hit them. This whole thing. There's no way Gilwyn and Melody are still asleep through this. There's like no factual way. In fact, actually, the dog from the tavern's like gone up and just kind of like flopped beside Gilwyn as he's like getting up. Like, just walked into the tavern, into the tent. This old ratty old dog is just like, against Gil.
For God's sake. I get out of the tent
Morning, Gil.
and become face to face with face to, how can I put this sort of
Face to head.
Way overhead.
Oh, I mean, you are a gnome, but
for the
still.
love of God.
You're really gonna look me down, you know what I'm saying?
Sid,
Melody is staring.
Melody is not. No chill.
Sid, it's time to take the tent down.
Cover up, you dirty old man.
Oh, yeah, I gotta dismantle my tent first. Hold on. Camping's different. He starts like taking apart his tent.
Now, ladies, I believe you were saying some things, and I wanted to ask you a question. Smart ladies like you know everything that happens in their village, no?
Oh, we know everything that happens. Beth doesn't know everything. Oh, I know everything.
We are looking for an individual who might be very pale or missing an appendage, a limb. Perhaps he's
we were just talking
away.
about him. Yeah, the what's his name? He wears the mask thing. It's quite rude mask, honestly. You know, I keep thinking it looks like a todger to me, but it's meant to be a nose.
Right. Did you know his name or where we
He's
might
not
find...
well. His name is Nosebranch. He usually hangs around the forest edge. It's a bit of a fence. You know, not the forest we sort of keep track of with the maple and stuff, but you know, a bit beyond.
Right, and this chap is undead.
Oh, I mean, I don't know anything about that, but he does have an awful. You know, I haven't seen under that mask. I haven't. Have you, Beth? No, I haven't seen under that mask. Tavern Keep has. He's seen it.
At Vale's mention of undead, Melody actually looks at undead, dead yet walking, unnatural, not of forest. And then she actually not of will of forest. And then she says a couple of words in a language like she's trying to decide on which one in another language. But Vale and I think Gil can speak Elvish. You'd probably recognise as Sylvan, but you wouldn't know the.
You recognise you mean the Sylvan you heard it 2 months ago.
So
you recognise the language of Sylvan.
Yeah.
And then she just goes, not natural.
Well, I mean, he's a lovely chap though. He's usually up by that little north fence thing. I mean, I say fence, and you know, old man Gregor did a lovely job, but it's not the best fence. You know, it's not going to keep out any beasts.
Dale's listening to this, but he's getting his kit on, getting his leather straps and whatnot. So he's getting on, getting ready, putting down the tent while he's listening to them talking about this undead.
They continue talking about him. I'm not going to say everything they say, even though I easily could. But they kind of just like back and forth as like, he's a nice man, but he's a bit weird and like roughly rolled into town some amount of months ago, never even remember, but like enough that everyone knows him, but maybe haven't talked to him, stuff like that. So yeah, you'll wake up at this point. The women, if you don't want to ask them any more questions, they actually leave. They kind of forgot that they came here to talk to Melody and wandered off. So you kind of just sort of left there, and then there's the dog. The dog is just kind of like attached to Gil right now. It's like it's between his legs.
Dog.
The
As
old
inconvenient as
dog
it
or the
is,
cat?
The old dog.
Oh, it's funny. Both the cat and the old dog love Gil.
Yeah.
A Melody is like petting the dog. I imagine if it's like between Gil's legs, it's probably a bit of
bit
it looks a bit odd.
From a certain angle.
Yeah.
Vale wiggles his eyebrows at Gil.
Yeah. Melody, can you take the dog away, please?
Yes. Melody can do this, and she sort of reaches out to the dog and tries to coax it.
Yeah,
away.
it happily follows you. It has no care in the world. It's just like.
She goes a few steps away and just continues stroking it.
Just like somewhere else. That's fine.
Yeah.
Dog is like.
His Melody for like a few moments. Like he's curious. It's like it's peculiar to see a person, a being like this. Not entirely sure what they are, whether they're particularly people or not, whether they're just wild came out of the forest, that sort of thing. But after a few moments, he watches and he's like, and he turns and he says, "So Sid, you were coming to the town? What for?"
Oh, I was looking for a couple of supplies. You have to understand, when it comes to artificing, there are some things that are a little bit difficult to get your hands on. Progress that's slowed down by lack of supply can really hinder progress. So I was coming in looking for a few things that I hear they sell around here.
Now, after last night, I had a thought.
Oh?
Me, you, Gil, we get on well. And you, Melody, we are all friends
Melody?
now, I feel.
She looks up at her name
And, well,
She's a bit of an odd one, isn't she?
yes.
Melody is coming with you. Melody comes with you. Interesting.
Vale turns to Gil, straight as soon as she's just like, Melody's coming with you. Vale turns to Gil and goes,
I have a question. Vale, you seem to be good with words. And a patient person, so these are good features of yours. Perhaps you could teach Melody pronouns. I could lend a few books if it would help.
yes, I suppose I could.
That's not important.
Anyway, let me not get sidetracked. This is important to me. I wish to ask. You see here, and he draws his short sword and he sort of balances it out for a minute, and he says, "It is a short sword, yes, but it is nothing of magnificence." And he sheaths it again.
Oh, let me see that. I can fix that for you.
It's fine. I wish to become, how you say, I wish to be a duelist of fame. I wish to have my name known without, about the lands. And to that end, I was looking for a blacksmith. You showed some measure of ability when you fixed Gil's loot. Do you have ability working with metal? I was hoping perhaps you might travel with us for a while. I need my gear to be in top nick if I am to travel and to duel famous duelists. They would have abilities. Well,
Hey, are you trying to hire me to be your tailor?
yes, sort of.
Oh man, this is fun. If I only told my kids somebody wanted to hire me to be their personal keeper of their gear, you know what? This is really interesting. I'm going to take you up in this offer just because I want the story to be true when I tell it. Whew. And I'm traveling anyways, so.
Vale, is that a good idea? Do we really need?
Look, to get the edge in these sort of, it is very competitive, and if we
This
have
is
the
hilarious.
cutting-edge technology, then it gives me a better chance.
Yeah, but 2 months, we're fine, just the two of us. We don't need anyone else.
I agree, but at least for now, until we meet this undead, let's have Sid travel with us, yes?
Maybe it's the size of my ears, but I can hear you.
Melody is coming with.
Sid, just pretend you can't hear us.
That took a moment.
He's like, Okay, and he actually goes off in the.
He like just like
both
faces the other direction, just like.
Hey,
The funny thing is, you do lose him into his work. He's gone.
Sid.
Melody tilts her head and just continues staring at you like.
You're having this conversation. Probably like you go to talk and then you notice that like she's staring, she's listening, like very intently. She's not subtle about it. She's just like.
Yeah. Still stroking the dog, but listening, but clearly staring at you.
If you want this little lad to come with us, I shouldn't say little lad, he's way older than me. If you want him to come with us, you're looking after him, okay?
Vale like goes. I give him 15% of the profits when I choose. Yes. Then I don't need to look after him, right? He can look after himself.
I meant more in like, we get attacked a lot.
Well, he likes your music, Gil. You can't say no to a fan like that, hmm?
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
Wasn't it? You're basically famous now.
Yeah. What fucking... No,
You can't let him die on his travels, can you? Hmm?
he was stuck in a bag.
What? He is clearly prone to accident.
That one hit Scott. There we go. That's the joke that hit Scott.
He's clearly prone to accidents.
Like you say that, and there's like a little over with Salny. Like something just popped. He doesn't seem to care.
Yeah, okay, let's say hypothetically, let Sid come along.
Yes.
What about Melody over here?
Melody?
No.
It doesn't feel right.
Alright.
He,
Melody can fight.
Melody can fight, can you?
She says that, and you see, or maybe you sense, like a bit of a coalescing of magic, and she and it's like a slight green glow, like starts in her eyes, and then gradually takes over her whole body momentarily, and then you just see her teeth lengthen and become like fangs as she casts this spell. Ignore
Primal
but
savagery.
yeah, primal savagery.
Oh dear God, Vale, you're right. This is a fucking village of vampires. Let's get the fuck out of here.
Well,
Hello, pussycat. Whoa, 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 whoa.
well, she certainly looks quite imposing now.
Hold on,
Yeah,
can
she
you tell
stands
me
up
if it's
then, and
is
you
it your
see all her
teeth or your
full
fingernails? Which one is it?
The
It was
teeth,
teeth. I
for now.
specified teeth.
Okay.
And she stands up to her full height when you say imposing, and she's clearly not weak.
She could look after Sid in fights.
True.
Why not try it for now? Wasn't it pleasant to have some extra company again?
Oh, it's like a coincidence. It's like we had a female and a small person, and now we've got a female and a small person.
You'll notice these things very differently to me. But yes, we now have another small person and another female. We are back where we started. Just we are much more wise, eh? Taps.
Yeah. Right. Oh, okay. So Sid can come along. You look after him.
And
And
you
Melody
look
can
after
come
Melody.
Melody
No.
comes with.
Yeah, yes, it's only fair. We each have one.
Well, they're not pets, Vale.
At this, she actually goes up and just grabs Gil's sleeve, and is just like, Melody comes with.
Vale nods.
Like you say that, and then the
Gil.
old dog
Like
walks
that.
over and just puts its face
Yeah.
on your knees, like.
Oh my God. Yes.
And she smiles, and she's clearly you've noticed so far her facial expression. She's very expressive, and she's clearly delighted with this.
Well,
Melody.
Sid,
Gilwyn Gallagher, yes.
When I say the word melody,
Melody.
Don't do that.
Do what?
This melody.
Melody?
That.
Perhaps
What?
we could show it.
She just looks confused.
Watch this. Gilwyn Gallowgear.
Yes, Vale.
You see?
I like how now that they use roleplay to
And
solve
she looks at
situations.
this. She doesn't seem to understand what you're getting at all.
But Vale like turns to Gil and shrugs. He's like,
We need.
roleplay doesn't work. What will?
Can we at least have a name for her outside of you know what?
I feel like it's rude, but we could call her Mist Lady. I don't know.
He whispered so hard. We have no idea what you said aside from lady, and the rest
it was
is probably
beast lady,
offensive.
Oh, Gil, I cannot. If we must call her Melody, it is too funny. Oh,
Okay.
Sid.
Yeah.
Let us talk terms of your contract. Upon win.
Oh no, it's fine.
Upon win of a duel, you will receive 15% of my win money.
Wait, you duel people for money?
Well, no, but
The lands out here really have changed since I left them, huh? Wow, this is different.
that made me laugh. Getting quite lightheaded.
What was funny?
Nothing. Me and Gil were
Role playing again? I understand. Did you try bringing in the illusions?
not yet, but can we keep that on the down low?
You guys role playing a girl?
It's
Sure,
more like
I won't
that
tell anybody.
like you hear another conversation like, oh, they're talking about role playing. You know, I tried that with the gent with the man. It's like that conversation, like of the women, just like kind of passes you by. Anyway, what you deal with next, we shall discuss after a short break. Get that thing away from my face. We'll be back in like 5-ish minutes.
You know what this episode's gonna be called? Scott's Jar.
I thought I could fill this with urine in one.